Hi, I'm Amy Feller and I'm the Roofer Chick. Today's tailgate talk is going to be about how does my insurance work? It can be overwhelming if you've never filed a claim before, and the process really isn't that difficult once you understand how it works. So I'll walk you through that. So here we go. The first thing that needs to happen is your insurance doesn't replace your roof just because it's old and it needs to be replaced. There actually has to be damage to your roof that's generally caused by an act of God or aliens, something like that, something you haven't planned for. When that happens, you may or you may not have roof damage. Now, sometimes you can tell, obviously, that you have roof damage, like a big tree fell on your roof and it's in your living room. Then, of course, you just want to go ahead and call your insurance. If wind ripped off a whole bunch of shingles and it looks like a lot, you could probably just call your insurance. But with hail damage, you can't always see that from the ground. In fact, you usually cannot see that from the ground. So you don't know if you have it or not. Generally, your insurance company likes you to call a roofer. Here's your friendly female roofer, to come out and see if your roof actually has damage or not and if it's enough for them to cover. Because your insurance doesn't want you to file a claim if you don't really have damage. It's not good for them and it's not good for you. So your roofer comes out, they say, yes, you have damage. You call your insurance company and you file a claim. Now, when you call the insurance company, you file a claim, they give you a claim number. They don't give you much more information right then, but generally most insurance companies, the adjuster who's going to come out and look at your roof will call you within 48 hours of that phone call. So this is your friendly adjuster coming out to look at your roof. They usually give you a window, kind of like the cable company. They say we're going to be there between 11 and 1 on Friday. If it was me, I would ask your roofer, I would give them that time and have them come meet your adjuster, because it's a lot easier to have them look at it and both come to an agreement than all this back and forth about he said, she said, whatever. That's personally what I would do. Some people, that makes them uncomfortable. If it makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. Just have the adjuster come out by themselves. So your adjuster comes out, and between him and the insurance company, it's not always 100% on him to make this judgment call. Sometimes he just takes pictures and sends them up, and somebody else is actually the decision maker. They decide if they're going to cover your roof and if it's a yes or if it's a no. And in this video, we're just going to proceed with if it's a yes. But if it's a no, that isn't necessarily the end of it. If you really do have storm damage and it's really there, there's a process or other processes you can go through to try and get coverage. But let's say they said yes. Whoa, we get a new roof. Yay. Okay. So he will go back. You're supposed to get a loss summary is what it's called, and you usually get that within 7 to 10 days of when the adjuster was at your house. Sometimes they give it to you right on the spot. Like State Farm has these cool vans. They go out and they have a printer and they type it up right then and give it to you. But most people will either email it to you or some even snail mail it. And you get your loss summary. A loss summary, it's not just the cover page. It's usually 4 to 8 pages, depending on how much damage you have. Like in a tornado claim, it can be like 20 pages. Just depends on how much damage you have. But it's line item. It lists what the insurance company is going to cover, and it's down to everything except maybe the nails. But we're going to tear off the shingles. We're going to put back on this many shingles. We're going to replace this many vents. We're going to replace the chimney flashing. We're going to replace window screens, fencing, whatever. They have everything listed out that they're going to cover. And generally, with that loss summary, they will send you a check that is for the actual cash value of your roof. This is where people start getting super confused. But they are sending you the value of what they think your roof is at this point in time. So say you have, it's easy math, let's go with a 20-year shingle, and it's 10 years old. Well, they're going to pay you 50% is the cash value. The other 50% of the roof has already been used. But don't worry, that's not saying you're just stuck with the ACV and that's all you get, unless you have an ACV policy, and we'll get to that at the end. Remind me to come back to that. But so they give you a check for that 50% or whatever they think your roof is worth at that time. So then you have that check and you hire the contractor of your choice. Your insurance company cannot tell you what contractor to hire. You hire the contractor of your choice. And generally, the scope of work has already been defined by the insurance company. So getting bids it's a waste of your time unless you want to do that. But if you go out and get a whole bunch of bids, say you go out and get a whole bunch of bids, and one guy, your insurance said they pay $10,000, one guy's at $10,000, one guy's at $8,000, and you think you're gonna save that $2,000, you're not. Because when you send the invoice to your insurance company for the $8,000, they're gonna say, ooh, we got it cheaper, and they're gonna keep that cost savings, not you, because legally, and they just passed a law this year, you have to pay your deductible. So getting bids only benefits the insurance company. It doesn't benefit you. You need to go out and pick a roofer that you're confident in, that you think is going to do an amazing job, and that's who you need to hire. So you hire them, and they put on this beautiful roof, and your house is so happy. Then your contractor or you sends a copy of the invoice to the insurance company for the $10,000 to prove that you did the work. Sometimes they'll send out an inspector to make sure that you really did the work, but usually it's just based on the invoice. And then they'll pay you the RCV, which is the replacement cost value. So that's the part of your roof that you had already used, and they pay you for that as long as you have a replacement cost value policy. So the total amount that you pay your contractor is the ACV, the actual cost value, plus the RCV, the replacement cost value, plus your deductible. So those three components. And then if you wanted to upgrade and get a better roof, or you wanted them to paint your ceiling green while they were there, then that would be out of pocket additional, because the insurance company only pays to replace what you had. They don't pay for an upgrade. That would be on you. Now, before all of this happens, before the storm comes, you want to make sure that you have a good insurance policy. And there are policies that are called ACV policies, actual cash value, where they only pay you the cash value of your roof, and they're terrible. That yes, you have a lower premium, but when you actually need your insurance, they hardly pay anything, because they pay you the cash value and then they deduct your deductible, and you're left with $1,000 to replace a $10,000 roof. So you want to check with your insurance agent and read your policy yourself and make sure that you have a replacement cost value policy. Do it right now. In summary, that's how insurance works. That's a really quick and dirty version, but in general, that's how it works. It's nothing to be afraid of. If you hire a good contractor that's used to working with insurance companies, they should walk you through this whole thing effortlessly.